What's up, Jesus Freak? You ask why. Well, first let me say that I don't consider myself an atheist. I don't believe in religious definitions of God, but if one's there, then hey, I feel no naturalistic connection to any supreme being. I don't even see how a supreme being is possible. The reason I don't like Christianity is because there's no unified doctrine within the religion. I mean, there's so many different denominations. It's ridiculous that have different beliefs. I mean, not every Christian believes that the Bible is the inerrant word of God. I mean, you can search YouTube and find Christians that don't believe that. Vocal Christians who post videos. I don't see how anyone can believe that, who's actually read the Bible and still believe that there's no errors in it. I mean, I'm not going to sit down and try to run through all of the contradictions and errors that are in it, but it all boils down to, who do you trust? Christians say they trust God and Jesus, but I've never met either. I cannot talk with either, so why should I believe? Christianity has made its way into government. It was not birthed. Our country was not birthed with Christian sentiment. They were theistic, I believe, but they weren't Christian. No doubt about that. Christians try to impose their views on other people. That's what evangelism is. It's not a good thing. If the Bible was real, if God exists as Christians profess they do, then he does, I should say, we wouldn't need the Bible. I mean, if God was active in our daily lives, if we could actually feel love from a supreme being, we wouldn't need a book. We wouldn't need the words of men to tell us about it. In fact, no one could find Christianity without the Bible. Jesus is not walking around preaching right now. You wouldn't know him without books that talk about him. I don't understand how I'm supposed to believe what you believe, and if not, I should still have to live in a world governed by people who believe what you believe and make decisions for me based on those beliefs. I would have absolutely no problem with Christianity if Christians had no theocratic ambition. If it was all about worshiping God, then that has nothing to do with the way we govern ourselves in civilization. I mean, and it's hard to defend my disbelief without mocking the religion. I mean, I cannot understand why people believe with such fervor. I can understand the heaven versus hell defense. I mean, that makes sense to me. I can respect that. If Christians were saying, I believe because I don't want to go to hell, and that was it. But they extend it beyond that. It goes to, I actually feel God. I talk to God. I I love Jesus. I have not known one person who actually met Jesus. He lived almost 2,000 years ago. And that's if he really lived, because there's very, very little evidence to acknowledge him as a real person. And I think most of them were not Christians. I mean, then you take Moses. There's absolutely no evidence of his existence whatsoever, or of Hebrew slaves in Egypt. Egyptians were good about keeping records, and there was no person named Moses in their history. There was no Exodus in their history. I mean, you would think that if someone parted a whole sea, that they might look differently at who they pray to, if they had that kind of power on earth. I mean, you take the disciples of Jesus. They walked with this yacht. They didn't call him God, because he didn't call himself that, but that's another thing Christians believe. They walked with him, they trusted him, they believed in him, but when he needed the most, they ran away, they were scared. Where were all his followers then? I mean, why weren't they following him? Why weren't they fighting for him? I don't understand it. I mean,